there, Internet. I see you found your way to my video. Probably by accident, so let me just help you along and send you to where you were supposed to go. Oh, you're still here! Cool! So, today, I'm going to be making a tutorial on how to do the aerial. The aerial's got to be one of my favorite moves out there. There's just so much you can do with it, so many combos, so many variations, and it's probably also one of the most underappreciated moves that's out there, in spite of all those lovely things I just said. So, before I get too far into it, here is what your aerial looks like. Ah, the aerial. It's great. So, one of the best things about an aerial is that there's really only one prerequisite that you need. There are three that are good to have, but only one that you have to have. So the one that you have to have before you can get an aerial is your cartwheel. So your cartwheel, it goes like this. Your aerial, as you probably remember, goes like this. Cartwheel, aerial. See any similarities there? You should, because the aerial is just your cartwheel without your hands. So, first things first, to have a good aerial, you need a good cartwheel. So, take one foot, whichever one you like better. Stick that one out in front. Take your hands, stick them both up here by your ears. And then you're going to want to lean down, and you're going to want to treat your upper body and your back like kind of like a lever. Pretend that you have a straight line going all the way through here. So you start up, and then you go down. Right before your hands touch, that's when you pivot them. A lot of people, they do what we trickers and freerunners like to jokingly call a wagon wheel, which is where you just start like this, and you stay like this the entire time. So, wagon wheels, not quite as good. So, start out facing straight. Here, let me do it coming straight at you. So you start out straight ahead. Take one foot, put that in front. Take your arms, lift that back leg, and then jump and pivot your hands when they go down to the ground. So you get something like this. Now see how I turn around? There's a natural little 180 that goes on when you do your cartwheel or your aerial, and it's best to just not fight that. A lot of people, they start facing forward, so they want to end facing forward, and you either end up with something sloppy like this, or you end up with what's called a square off, which is really awkward and hard, and it's just not a cartwheel and really doesn't help you with much. I mean, it's kind of cool on its own, but that's not what we're here to learn today. So, once you have your cartwheel, basically just really drill it. Get really comfortable with it. Because obviously, same base motion as your aerial, except with your aerial, you don't have your hands. So, better cartwheel always equals a better aerial. If you want a better aerial, work your cartwheel. Job done. So, next progression is a diving cartwheel. I bet you can't guess what that is, so I'll tell you. It's a cartwheel where you dive into it. So, cartwheel, and diving cartwheel. What makes the diving cartwheel so great? For a diving cartwheel, if you actually want to get that hang time before your hands come down, you really got to jump off this front leg. You've got to extend, initiate your cartwheel motion, and then launch yourself off this front leg. And it helps to have a good kick back here as well. But we'll get into that with the third progression. So, really, there isn't anything that marks when you're ready to go from your cartwheel to your diving cartwheel. It's just eventually you're comfortable and you try it. So something that will help for your diving cartwheel is to send it outward. A lot of people, when they try their diving cartwheel, they almost whip themselves around and they're almost going backwards. So you end up with something like that, which is kind of cool, but it's also going to be really tough. So it's just going to be a lot easier for yourself if you can get your chest to start leaning outward and get your arms in that jump to really have everything throw you out into a nice strong cartwheel. diving cartwheel, so you're used to jumping off this front leg here. And now you have what is the absolute best progression for your aerial that literally everyone I have taught skips. So, you're diving. Once you have your cartwheel and your diving cartwheel, you want to go to your elbow cartwheel. Clasp your arms like this, and then from there, you're going to have to bend down really low off this leg, and you're going to have to get a huge kick out of this back one. Otherwise, you're just not going to spin around. So your elbow cartwheel goes like this. Has to be really fast, and I can already hear you screaming at your computer, "Oh God, no, my face is going to be 2 inches from the ground!" Yes, but this isn't going to collapse on you. This is pretty darn strong. You'll be fine. So, drill those 3 things. Your cartwheel gets you used to the motion, your diving cartwheel gets you used to jumping, and your elbow cartwheel is going to get you a really strong kick back here. And at that point, you're ready to start doing your aerial. Because you have the motion, and you have the strength and the rotation. So, you go from here to here. You should be going to here, but you probably won't. Try it anyway. And then you can go to this lovely thing. The aerial. Yes. That's about all I got for you. I'll probably make another video later with special tips, common mistakes, all that thing to look out for. So keep coming back, keep checking out. Subscribe if you want to learn more aerials. I'll be making a lot of tutorials on variations soon, hopefully. Kind of busy with school, but we'll see how that goes. Get your aerial. Learn it today. It's awesome.